From the heart of Wayne County, this is Wayne Goldsboro Television, Goldsboro, North Carolina. Today is Wednesday, it's the 25th of May, 2016, and this is Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Pat Garner.
She is Pat Garner, all right. Kate's on assignment.
I ain't even gonna say it.
Again. Anyway, we tease Kate, but she is so busy all the time. She's always got something going on. And she's the president of the Chamber of Commerce here in Wayne County, so she is an extremely busy person. Always doing something, going somewhere. You know, our Wayne County Library has more clubs than you could possibly imagine.
That they do.
Youngsters and adolescents and teenagers and adults have all kinds of events, reading events, especially for the kids. Children book clubs include a middle school book club, a book club for grades 5 through 8, a Mighty Girls book club. Now the middle school book club is at Steele Memorial in Mount Olive. Grades 5 through 8 is in Goldsboro, like the Mighty Girls Book Club is in Goldsboro. There's a book club for girls ages 10 to 15, and there's even a book club for guys at the Goldsboro Library. And there's all kinds of events going on. You go to wcpl.org, wcpl.org, and that's our Wayne County Public Library website, and they've got a schedule there of all the clubs, the book clubs and reading clubs and events right there on that website. It's a very good website. You will pick up a lot of good information there.
And you can also go to their Facebook page or the Wayne County Government Facebook page.
Okay, to get to the Wayne Gov Facebook page, that is so easy. And that's a great page because someone does a great job with that, our Wayne County Facebook page. Not mentioning any names.
Please don't.
Okay, but you go to waynegov.com, and in the upper right-hand corner,
Yes.
in the upper right-hand corner is the Facebook logo.
Icon.
That's our link, the icon, thank you. Logo, icon, You say tomato, I say tomato. But it's in the upper right-hand corner, Facebook. You click on that and it'll take you straight to, without hesitation, our Facebook page, our super Facebook page. I didn't mention any names.
No names.
You can also find on the upper right-hand corner there a link to our YouTube channel as well. So if you happen to miss any of this, which runs 3 times a day, by the way, if you happen to miss any of this, you can go to our Facebook channel, and there it is. It's right there, anything you need to know. And if you will, sign up for YouTube, and that way it'll save you some time logging in and checking in and trying to find exactly what you're looking for. The Goldsboro Family Y has a diabetes prevention program. This is so important. It offers measurable progress and unlimited support. Now, this is for adults at least 18 years of age, overweight individuals with a BMI over 24. That's who it's for, overweight individuals with a BMI over 24. And it's also for confirmed pre-diabetes, and it has to be confirmed through blood test, diagnosis, etc., or qualifying risk assessment score. Anyway, you want to know more about this, call the Goldsboro Family Y, or just go on by there and find out about it. It says here that the average patient with diabetes spends $14,000 a year in medical costs.
That's a lot.
Here's another number for you. 1 out of 3 U.S. adults has pre-diabetes, and only 1 out of 10 know it. 1 out of 3 has pre-diabetes, and only 10% know they have it. So don't mess around with this. It's dangerous. It can be deadly. It's not nice. Diabetes does not play nice. So head over to the Goldsboro Family Y and find out what you need to find out about diabetes and pre-diabetes. Okay? Yay. Today's the first day that you can find your poppies Out at the Food Lion on Highway 117 South, down at the Marmac area.
Poppies.
Poppies.
Or poppies.
Poppies?
Poppies.
Poppies are little red flowers.
Oh.
Poppies were little red flowers that were discovered on Flanders Field during World War I. I believe that's in Belgium. Belgium, France, in that area. After a devastating and horrible battle took place at Flanders Field, the only thing that was found later on were these little red poppies pushing up through the dirt. And they became the symbol of all those who died during that horrible battle. And that symbol has carried through to now and will continue on. But to honor those who lost their lives in World War I, the poppy is being presented by the American Legion Auxiliary, Post 11 on Highway 117 South. Now they will be at Sam's Club. They'll also be at the Food Lion 117 South and at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base Commissary coming up today, tomorrow, and tomorrow.
Not today.
Tomorrow, not today. Why have I got the 26th in my mind? For some reason, today is the 25th. They'll be there on the 26th, 7th, and 8th.
Yes, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
That's right, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's so much easier, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at Sam's Club, the Food Lion on Highway 117 South at Marmac, and at the commissary on base. All right. Make a donation, and you'll get a poppy, honoring those who died during World War I.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also on the 26th, the Wayne County Veterans Patriots Coalition meets at 6 p.m. at the Veterans Service Office at 201 East Ash Street.
2001.
Yeah, 2001.
East Ash Street. I know, it's a little tiny type. And
It is.
I know it is. Okay. It's at 2001. It's in the old Nash Printing Company building there. It's at 2001 East Ash, right next to the Senior Center. That's where the Veteran Services Office is. And they're going to meet there. And this is a great organization, the Veterans and Patriots Coalition. Bill Graham heads that up, and of course he gets a tremendous amount of support from people like Vic Miller and all these, Danny, and just wonderful people to work with. And the most wonderful part of it is that it's veterans and patriots. So you don't have to be a veteran to be a part of this organization and support our country, support our nation, support those who've served. So that meeting is tomorrow night at 6 at the Veteran Services Office on East Ash Street. Okay? Excellent. Okay, coming up after our next interview, we'll be going and we'll have our trivia question for you, and we'll find out what's special about today, okay?
Okay.
Okay, we'll be back. We have a special guest in the studio with us today. Author, philosopher, Mr. Martin Fritz is with us. Martin, how are you, sir?
Great, thank you.
Glad to have you with us. I appreciate you coming in. You're an author. You have written a book entitled The Human Herds.
Our Human Herds.
Our Human Herds. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm interested in from where you got the name. What does that mean, Our Human Herds?
Well, it's a book about society at large, why we create society as we do, why we see right and wrong in the ways that we see it. And it puts forth a theory called dual morality, which says human beings exist as they do because of the moral systems that are within us.
Okay.
And I'll answer your question, but first I want to say you have to answer the question first, what is morality?
What is morality?
If you were the only thing in the universe, there could be no morality. It wouldn't matter what you did. You were all that there was.
Because you can't...
You can't interact with anything. There's nothing to interact with. But once you have something other than you, a dog, a river, a god, a wife, you create the situation where morality comes into being. Okay? How should you treat a dog? Should you pet it? Should you kick it? Should you be scared of it? And what about your wife? Or what about God? You know, what's your responsibilities to it, and what's it going to do for you? So morality is a relationship, and human beings always lived in groups. Okay,
right.
And this is how morality is manifested, is because we are a herding species, you might say.
I see.
And that's the key to the book, is to understand that we are a grouping species, and our morality is how to interact with each other. And the philosophy, and what's new about this, is that it puts forth the idea that we really don't have a single moral system within us. We have two moral systems within us, and I'll tell you why. When we're a group, let's say the occupants of this building were our group, and today we had enough food for everyone, enough shelter and enough protection. What would be the proper distribution of that food? We would generally say, if there's enough for all, then all should have enough, right? And if we can all fit in this building, get out of the rain, we should all be in here. And that's a scenario that our group would be in. But through most of human history, that wasn't the scenario. Through most of human history, the scenario that our group faced was, there's not enough food for all. Okay? If we share all of our food equally, we all die. So if by sharing all of our food equally, we all die, that can't be the way we should distribute our food.
Right.
So in those situations when there's not enough for all, we have to prioritize people and things. Some people are going to get enough to survive, and some are going to get much less, and maybe they'll die.
This sounds pretty cold.
Well, it's cold-hearted reality.
Cold-hearted reality, that's what it is.
So what we end up within us,
yeah,
because nature has demanded it,
right,
reality demands it, is we have a situation, we have a moral systems within us that we can decide right and wrong in one way, sort of horizontally. When there's enough for all, we should all have enough, we should all be treated equally, everyone can be about the same. Or we have the other situation where we have to prioritize people and things. One is a very horizontal system, one is vertical. Mm-hmm. Some can be better than others, some can be worse. So we can find out in some cases equality can be right, and in other cases, whether we like it or not, inequality must be right. And
wow.
That's the nature of the book. And that's why it's called The Human Herds, because morality springs from our long ancestry.
Okay.
It's a morality of plenty versus a morality of scarcity. And what the book goes on to explain is each of these moral systems ends up developing their own language and their own codes. The end of one language, the end of one moral outlook, our horizontal moral outlook of plenty, tends to be pleasure. We have enough, we're safe, mm-hmm. You can express your emotions, let it all hang out. It doesn't matter, don't act your age, act your shoe size.
Yeah.
It's essentially the morality of the culture we live in now.
Right, that's where we are.
We have plenty, right?
Reminds me of the 60s.
Right, well.
Kind of, sort of.
But in other circumstances, through most of history, when things were much harder,
mm-hmm.
okay, when people and society itself was verticalized, you had to be stoic. It was self-control because you and your family had to be seen as one of the more meritorious people that were going to get the goods and services allocated to you.
And those who were not?
And those who were not were...
They were lost.
They were left at the bottom. Now, the book opens with the sentence, 200 years ago, if a woman were raped and became pregnant, we'd kill the rapist and spare the baby.
Right.
Today, if a woman is raped and becomes pregnant, we spare the life of the rapist and we kill the baby because we have abortion and we're getting rid of the death penalty.
Right.
So how could our morality have flipped so completely in 200 years? 200 years ago, you had people like Thomas Jefferson and George Washington demanding liberty while holding slaves. How is that possible? Those are the kind of questions that are answered in this book. Not only is it possible, but it's fundamentally a necessary step or a normal and natural step in the social development of democracy. Democracy tends to unfold from the top down.
Yes. Let me ask you, though.
Okay.
Does the book lean one way or the other, or are you...
No.
You're right down the middle?
Right. The book merely explains our morality.
Explains the differences.
It doesn't advocate one side or another.
Okay.
And in a sense, it says, this is why we tend to advocate one side or the other in these circumstances. The book actually goes on to explain, that the group benefits by having people advocating all moral sides mm-hmm. at the same time. You have some people saying, under these circumstances, we should be more horizontal in sharing, and other people at the same time say, no, under these circumstances, we're not quite there yet, we need to be more careful, we got to preserve and protect and hold on to traditions because we need to be more vertical sometimes and hold on to our way. And what the book says is by having both of those moral views mm-hmm. hitting us at the same time, we sort of decide. The group decides which way to go. Is it all right to go a little leftward now or rightward?
More to the right.
And we see these arguments played out every election
I
year.
see that. So it just depends on it just depends. So there's two moralities.
There's two moralities. We're always inundated with this. They're within you and they're within me, okay? And every situation, we're just trying to decide ourselves, which do I apply to this situation? And the two moralities, like I said, end up with their own language. You call it liberal and conservative, striving for equality or striving for merit. I'll give you an example of how it plays out. The school system. Okay?
School system, okay.
We want everyone to go to school,
Right.
and we want everyone to pass.
Right.
Right, that's our goal. Okay, that's our very horizontal and equal goal. You have it and I have it. But within us, we also have this goal that says, you know what? The kid that works really hard and does all of his homework, he's going to get the A. And the kid that sort of doesn't do anything and loafs around, he should also pass, just like this kid. They should both get the same degree. Shouldn't
That doesn't seem right.
Right.
That
So
doesn't
why
seem
should the
right.
one who works harder only get the same as the one who works less? So in a way, we want to say we believe in equality, but also within us, we have this notion that treating unequals equally is not justice either.
Right.
Now, we're divided in other ways. We'll take the prison system. We think prisoners should be reformed where they can be. Okay? It's a very horizontal. Everybody is important. We want everybody to be made a member of society.
Right.
But we also want them punished.
Right. Well, they're in
Get
prison.
them out of society.
Sure.
Okay?
Take them out. Lock them
So
up.
we want to save them, we want to reform them, we want to punish them, and we want to get them out. We want two ways. And the reason is because our two moral codes tell us this is the right thing to do, and we're constantly debating these things in our own hearts as well as with the neighbors. The two ends of our moral codes are a little bit different. Our horizontal moral code, which the book calls Mind One, the end is pleasure. It's very much in the present. And the other moral code, the vertical moral code, the end is happiness. Now, sometimes we give up our pleasures for our happiness, and then other times we give up our happiness for our pleasures. If I said to you, Pat has a great personality, but not much in the way of character. Or, another person's point of view said, no, Pat has great character, but not much in the way of personality. You'd know sort of what they were talking about, but you'd have a hard time putting it into words. If I said, Pat had a great personality, but not much in the way of character. But if I said
As
to
an
you,
example.
as an example,
As an example.
this person has great personality, but not much in the way of character, you'd sort of know what I meant.
I kind of know what you mean. Yeah.
Right. Because personality is the one way we describe our Mind One horizontal self. Okay? One person's personality is as good as the next.
Okay.
We're all equal.
Right.
You might not be compatible with that personality, but certainly as good as anybody else's.
Personality is personality.
Character, on the other hand, you can have good character or bad character.
That's true.
Okay? Character is vertical.
Yes.
Character is living up to a standard that exists outside of us.
Got it.
Got it? And we, because we have these two moral codes, also come up with this language that suits each one. Personality is how we describe people when we're talking in one moral code. Character is the way we describe when we're talking in the other.
Okay.
And we do this interchangeably, and unless we step back and analyze it like we're doing philosophically here on the show, most people sort of don't take the time to say, why do we do these things? Now, these two versions of morality, again, manifest themselves in many ways. I'll give you an example. Whenever we're morally conflicted, these kinds of things come out. Let's say you are a passenger on the passenger ship, the Titanic.
Titanic, 1912.
When it hit the when it hit the iceberg.
Right.
Okay, it's going down.
Going down, we're sinking.
There's nothing you can do about it. You stay on that ship, you're going to die.
Gonna die.
The captain has been knocked unconscious, or for whatever reason, they come to you as this bright guy wearing a nice suit, and they say, you must be a smart guy. You tell us. We run to the lifeboats. There's only enough room for 1/3 of the passengers.
Okay.
Only 1/3 of the people can live. 2/3 must die. And you're going to decide
Oh boy,
who lives and who dies.
that's a tough one. But I would have to say, in the beginning, I would have to say that the first to go onto the lifeboats would be women and children.
Okay, women and children.
Women and children.
Right, so you're saying that you can prioritize people in this moral crisis, in this moral situation. I'm prioritizing. These people are going to get what we have, the rest aren't. That's just how it is.
That's the way it is.
Now you have two moral standards. In the book I describe as mind one, the morality of equality, mind two, the vertical morality.
Got it.
And by the nature of your response, I can tell already you're sort of a conservative kind of guy.
I am a conservative.
Right. I asked that same...
And proud to be, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're on the side that tells society this vertical structure is the way we should be going under the current circumstance. Now, some people are opposed to you. They say, no, Wayne's wrong, we need to go this way.
I've heard that.
And we, as bystanders, wait to be influenced, and we make our decisions. Who are we going to follow? Yeah. Now, I asked that same question about the lifeboats to two university professors.
University professors?
Yeah, one was a doctor of philosophy, the head of a philosophy department at a major Eastern university.
Okay.
And the other was a doctor in a local college.
Okay.
The one at the university, the philosophy department head, sort of hemmed and hawed a little bit, talked a little bit about different moral codes, and I cut him off. I said, come on, man. The boat's sinking. You're a head of a philosophy department. If anyone should know this answer, it should be you. He sort of stepped back a little bit, eyes widened, and he said, I guess I would draw straws.
Oh, no.
Now listen, now he wants to be morally correct. In his mind, what he's telling us is everybody's life counts equally. I'm not in a position to decide this person's life is more valuable than that person's. Okay? If they personally choose not to get on the boat, that's their decision. It's a lifeboat. If they want to step back, that's fine. But I'm not going to be the one to make the decision. Okay. Every life is equally valuable to me.
Okay.
They were a mind one person.
Oh, boy.
Okay? Everybody has a chance at the boats. I asked the local college professor, and he said, women and children first. And he also said if I had a chance, I could go through the manifest and maybe pick and choose certain people like medical doctors who could do something for society, and I'd put them on there. So again, we see the two sides of our morality expressed in how we answer that question.
Interesting. That's very interesting.
And so the whole book,
this is a big book. What inspired you to write this?
Well, first let me just say, when you're talking about examining a moral code and applying it to all aspects of human endeavor, how many pages does that take?
Well, good question.
So it sort of covers everything from, why is there history? What should we remember and why should we remember it? Why do we have science? What is education? Who should be educated and what should be educated? What should they be educated towards? It covers all those things.
Right.
What inspired me to write it was I had initially written another book. It was going to be a children's how-to book, and it was supposed to be how to teach your children to think. Okay? The premise of that book was you teach people to do anything by doing it. It's not to ride a bicycle by putting them on it.
Right.
So that book was composed of questions, and it was designed for parents that supposedly once a day around the dinner table, let's say, you could open the book to any point and ask these questions. I'll ask you a couple from the book right now. What is art?
What is art?
Yeah.
What is art?
Well,
that's a good question.
What is not art?
What is not art?
Okay, I'm only using
Well, you know what? I don't know of anything that isn't art in some way.
Okay. So the book had all these sort of very difficult to answer questions.
That's a hard question to answer. What is art?
Because it made people think, right?
Because one's idea of art may not be someone else's.
Right. Why do we have countries?
Ah, that's a good question.
Okay, so the book was filled with all those kinds of questions, and all you had to do was go around the dinner table and ask your kids these questions, and you would go around, and you were the last person. And you would analyze it, you'd do whatever you had to say. And there was no place in the back of the book for the right answer. It just had the questions. Because it said the way you teach people to think is by doing it. Make them think. Okay?
Got it. The book is called Our Human Herds, and it is written by a gentleman by the name of Martin Fritz. Do you live in Mount Olive?
Yeah, I live in Mount Olive. And there's also a website, ourhumanherds.com.
Ourhumanherds.com is the website, The Philosophy of Dual Morality and a Theory of Moral Evolution. We're out of time, I'm sorry to say. Mr. Martin Fritz, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We're back on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Thank you for being with us. A quick reminder, if you missed part of today's program or you want to see a repeat or something like that, you can always go to our website, waynegov.com, and click on the little red dot in the upper right-hand corner of the web page. That is a direct link to our YouTube channel. You click on that YouTube channel and you can find just about everything, anything and everything that we have recorded here on Wayne Goldsboro Television for the morning show. You also find links to Poetry 2016. You find links to, what else do you find links to?
Board of Commissioners.
Board of Commissioners meetings. You find Home and Garden, Agriculture, a whole bunch of stuff on there. So check it out. Go to our YouTube channel by clicking on the little red dot in the upper right-hand corner. That's a YouTube link. It doesn't say that, but that's what it is. Okie dokie. Let's see now. Let's go ahead and look at today's special days. Today's the 25th, right?
Yes.
Okay. Today is National Tap Dance Day. Okay. You ever heard of Mr. Bill Robinson? Bill Robinson was an actor in Hollywood, and he danced with Shirley Temple, and he danced with a bunch of other people, but he was one of the greats of all time. He was also known by the name Mr. Bojangles.
Yes, now I have heard of that.
Okay, you have heard of that.
I have
All
heard
right.
of that.
And a lot of people don't realize that Bill Robinson actually created a word that became popular, and it was very popular back in the 70s, early 70s, late 70s, in that era, and the 80s, and it's still used occasionally. And that word is copacetic, meaning, hey, that's cool. Well, I don't know what it means. That was the word. He created that word himself, and it just took off. It did. Anyway, he was quite a guy. Anyways, World Tap Dance Day. All right, dance a little. Today is also National Senior Health and Fitness Day. There you go. All right. Thank you very much. Trivia questions for today. Our category is physics. Oh, come now. Now, some people may know this one. What physicists developed the general theory of relativity? Who developed the general theory of relativity? Here's a clue. This will give it away. E equals mc squared. 2 for 1. Let's give another question. Here's a category. The category is
Wine.
wine. Wine is the category. A person that makes barrels for wine storage. A person that makes barrel for wine storage is known by what title? Now let me tell you, this is a word that's been around a long time. It goes back to early England, and it is used most commonly now as a proper name. Proper name being somebody's last name. Surname, I guess. Isn't that a surname? That's a surname.
Yes.
Okay. But it actually originated as a person who makes barrels for wine storage. What is that name or title? Okay, all right. We're going to go to our next segment, and we'll be back after that. Our guest today in the studio, of course, Crime Stoppers Coordinator Paige Lerner. Hey.
Good morning.
Great to have you with us.
Thank you.
I want to talk to you about a couple of things. Before we'll talk about the crime of the week.
Right.
But when we're through with that, I want to talk to you about Crime Stoppers.
Okay.
Just get some general information because it's been a while since we talked about that.
Okay.
And talk about things. All right?
All right.
First, tell us about the crime of the week. What's going on?
Well, I want to talk about a shooting, and it happened on May 8th.
Yeah.
Happened about 7:30 at night.
Okay.
And basically what happened was we had a 24-year-old victim who was sitting in his car parked in like the 400 block of North Carolina Street, which is an area we tend to have a little bit of problems in. And he did not see who did the shooting, but somebody started shooting at his vehicle. He was not shot, thankfully, but they did fire rounds into the car that he was sitting in. And so we are hoping that somebody in that vicinity saw something, heard something, knows something, like I say a lot. And obviously, you know, it's still daylight. This is a heavily trafficked area, busy, you know. So we feel pretty sure that, you know, we've got witnesses out there that maybe they have not come forward. And, you know, with me, they can come forward anonymously.
That's
so
right.
maybe they'll feel more comfortable to call the tip line or text the tip line and give us some information about this incident.
And I've heard you say many times that they don't have to have what they may think may be just an insignificant piece of information may be actually what breaks the case.
Right. You know, a lot of times they just assume that we have all the pieces to the puzzle, and, you know, a lot of times we need that fifth piece to the puzzle to kind of tie it up.
Mm-hmm.
So the investigators want to hear from them.
Okay. All right, so if you know anything at all about the shooting of this shooting took place on Carolina Street.
Right, 400 block of North Carolina.
Of North Carolina, 400 block of North Carolina. And the date on that again?
May 8th.
May 8th. And the time of day again?
About 7:35 in the evening.
And that's just before sundown, so
Right.
it was light.
Right.
So if you have any information at all, if you just maybe have seen something, or you may have just suspected something,
Right.
then that information is needed by Sergeant Leonard at the Goldsboro Police Department and Crime Stoppers.
Right.
So Crime Stoppers number 919-735-2255. You see it crawling at the bottom of the screen right there. And you can text at 919-222.
4230.
That's what I was going to say. 4230, 222-4230. And is this a crime that would be entitled to a reward?
Yes. Yep.
And the rewards offered by Crime Stoppers are for crimes for information that's given. And if there's an arrest from that information, then you could be entitled to a reward.
That's right.
All right, and 919-735-2255 or 919-222-4230, 222-4230 for Crime Stoppers. I wanted to ask you about this. Now, Crime Stoppers has been around a long time, and you have an amazing record of catching guys.
Yeah.
And what's amazing to me is that there are still people who do not understand that they can call and give you this information, and you still have no idea who they are.
Right. Right.
Totally anonymous.
That's right.
Now, I want to talk about the money, too. Where does the money come from to pay all these rewards? Because you could pay up to $1,000 for information.
Right.
Where does that money come from?
Well, you know, Crime Stoppers is a nonprofit organization.
Right.
And a lot of people are confused. They think it's a Goldsboro Police Department function.
Uh-huh.
It's not. It's a program that is generated for all of Wayne County. So when I receive information, it could be for something happening in Mount Olive, Pikeville, Fremont, Goldsboro, Princeton. Sometimes I have to shoot it to different agencies around the area because everybody does not have a Crime Stoppers program. So it's a nonprofit. It's run by a board of about 18 members. Those members are volunteers from the community, and several of them are business owners. And that's their passion. And so basically what it is, there's a director by the name of Rick Sutton, and he's a retired officer. His office is actually in the Chamber of Commerce. Each month we meet with this board, and that board, it is their responsibility to raise funds for the Crime Stoppers. And so those are total private donations. So each year, you know, there's two big events. We have two annual fundraisers. We have a new one we're doing. This is the second year of that one, but we always do a reverse drawing, which is held, and that'll be coming up in a couple months. And now we have a new annual fundraiser, which is a gospel sing and comedy night. Last year was our first time for doing that event. This year we're doing the same event, but we're changing it up a little bit, and this is in tribute to Judge Finan. For many of those that know Judge Finan, he was a strong supporter of Crime Stoppers and on the board. And, you know, fortunately, last year when we did this first annual fundraiser, he was already aware of it and already supporting it, unfortunately, when he passed. So with the permission of his family, we've dedicated it to Judge Finan. So this will be our second year. Board's really excited. So basically, when they come on as board members, it's their responsibility to keep the funds raised, to keep new things innovated, things going as far as raising the money from the community. So it's 100% private donations, and it's monitored by them. It's not monitored by the Sheriff's Department. The monies aren't monitored by the Police Department. And basically, I'm the liaison. Although I'm a police officer for Goldsboro Police Department, I'm the coordinator that answers the phones and forwards the tips, and I'm the one that actually pays the callers.
So while law enforcement agencies in Wayne County, whether it's the Sheriff's Office, whether it's the Police Department, whether it's Fremont Police or Mount Olive Police, your jurisdiction is the county, and you're kind of an umbrella for all these organizations.
Exactly.
And I want to stress the point that this money is by donation. There's no tax dollars involved here.
Right.
No tax dollars. This is totally separate from the police department, sheriff's department, all these others.
Right.
You provide information that helps catch the bad guys.
Right.
And this information comes from listeners and viewers and people who are familiar with this. Now, you have some people who do quite well with this, some people who live in that environment.
Right.
And they know things, and they get information, and they call you, and they do quite well.
Right. Well, you know, we need the people that live in that environment.
Exactly.
We need them, and you know, I do have a lot of frequent callers that watch the wanted list, that pay attention to these shootings, that pay attention to these scams that are going on, because they know if it's a felony that it's something I'll give them cash for.
Right.
So as soon as we make an arrest, I can pay them a cash reward. And you know, some programs and some other entities out there require to be a conviction, and so that's not true with Crime Stoppers. You know, it's just as soon as that arrest is made, as long as it's a felony and it's in Wayne County, it's a Wayne County case, I can pay them a cash reward.
All right. So the number again, if you want to know more about Crime Stoppers, you can text 919-222-4230.
Right.
And if you have a tip to offer, you can call 919-735-2255. And that's only for tips now, right?
Yeah.
That's only for tips. If you need to know more about the workings of the police department, the sheriff's department, anybody else, call those respective departments.
Right.
They have office numbers. But for Crime
Lots
Stoppers,
of them.
lots of them, 735-2255. And our guest is Sergeant Paige Lerner, coordinator of Crime Stoppers. And I thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. We're back on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Thank you for being with us. And by the way, we mentioned the YouTube channel that you can get directly from our WayneGov.com website and our Facebook page. And I do hope you get a chance to visit those pages as well. And you'll find us on Twitter as well. All right? Very good. Okay. Have you ever considered adding a member to your family? Another member? Family
Like a
member?
four-legged.
Like you're four-legged? Okay. well,
Friends.
sure. All right. Tell us about it. What's going on?
Wayne County Animal Adoption and Education Center for this month until the further notice are having all black dogs and cats at half price, which is $25.
Really?
Yes.
For $25,
For
you can adopt a
$25.
dog or a cat.
Yes.
Man, that's a deal. Now, if somebody needs a pet, and they've got a bunch of them out there, and you know, it's been determined that black dogs and black cats are the least adopted
That's true.
from shelters, and that's not right. I mean,
I like my black animals.
black dogs and black cats are great.
Yeah.
Some people think black cats are
Good luck.
Good
bad
luck. Bad luck. Yeah. Well, they're not bad,
Bad
luck. No, that's garbage. Until one steps in front of you, you trip over. Don't trip over any kind of cat. Anyway, that's beside the point. All right, for $25. And we're back on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Thank you for being with us. Keep in mind that we are on 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. First program at 7 o'clock. That show repeats at noon, then again at 5:30 p.m. Hope you're able to join us. And if you're not able to join us, you could see this program in several ways. Well, it repeats on the weekend for one thing. And it also, you can find it on our YouTube channel. You go to our WayneGov.com website and you click on the YouTube link in the upper right-hand corner. The little red dot in the upper right-hand corner is a YouTube link to take you right to our channel. So you can see just about anything we've ever done. Plus, you get to see all the other things that we have recorded and thrown up there on YouTube as well, including, what are some of the other things?
The Board of Commissioners.
That's right. Board of Commissioners meetings are there.
Home and Garden.
Home and Garden is there. You know, we do. I love doing the home and garden thing because for several reasons. We have Jessica, and she tells us how to plant our gardens and stuff.
Yep.
And then we also have Michelle.
That teaches you how to cook.
Teaches us how to cook. And boy, that's fun. I do enjoy that. You know, we've made tuna patties. We've made salsa. We made tostadas. Right?
Yep.
And that's fun. And you can see all that on our YouTube channel in the little red dot in the upper right-hand corner of our website. Okay. You ever thought about adding a new family member? Sure you have. The four-legged kind, I'm saying. The four-legged kind.
Furry kind.
The fur, yeah, the ones with fur and hair and all that stuff. Yeah, well, you won't believe the deal that's going on. Tell us about the deal that's going on. What's going on?
The Wayne County Animal Adoption and Education Center has a special from now until they give us further notice on all black dogs and cats. They are at half price, which is $25.
$25.
$25.
That's a really good deal. You know, it's been determined that black dogs and cats are the least adopted, so they just sit there. So here's your opportunity to save some money and pick up a new family member at the same time. Four-legged kind, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give them a forever home. They got a bunch of them out there. Some nice, fuzzy, furry friends at the Wayne Animal Adoption and Education Center. And that's at 1600 Clingman Street in Goldsboro, right off, well, it's near the bypass. It runs between Royal and Corporate Drive, I believe. All right, let's see now. You know, last week the Embers were in town, and the next Center Street Jam at the John Street parking lot between John and Center Street will be Spare Change. They'll be here June 2nd. That show gets underway at 6 p.m. and hope you're able to attend. That's a fantastic group. Of course, I know everybody loved the Embers last week, but they did a great job. Spare Change, and then later on, after that, it's June 16th, a Legacy Motown Review. Then June 30th, Hip Pocket, then the Band of Oz, Jim Quick and Coastline, Blake Kearney Band on August 11th, and August 24th, the rescheduled program of the Malpas Brothers will be performing and closing out the season for
24th or 25th?
That's the 24th. You think it's the 25th?
I think it's 25th.
It's in August, and it'll be, it is the 25th because it's every 2 weeks, okay? The Wayne County Veterans and Patriots Coalition meeting at 6 o'clock. The Veteran Services Office at 2001 East Ash Street, Goldsboro. Now, on the 28th, this Saturday, there's all kinds of Memorial Day events going on. You know, Monday is Memorial Day, and this program will be a best of program this coming Monday. Okay, we will not be here. Wayne County Courthouse and courts and offices are closed, and the landfill is closed on Monday of next week, but that's Wayne County Landfill and Convenience Centers. But Wednesday, when everything is normally closed for the landfills and the convenience centers, are going to be open Wednesday.
Only the landfill.
Only the landfill is going to be open Wednesday. That's what I meant to say. It's going to be open Wednesday of next week, okay, instead of Monday. That's on Saturday, Memorial Day events, breakfast served at the American Legion Post, followed by flag placement on veterans' graves at 0800. That's 8 o'clock in the morning, and that's on Highway 117 South at the Post 11. And then Monday, a Memorial Day service at Wayne Community College, gets underway at 11 o'clock on May 30th. All right? I guess that's it for today. That's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow, because tomorrow's another day. Fiddle-dee-dee.
Wayne will be back by himself.
Oh yeah, that's right. She'll be on assignment. And I will be talking to you tomorrow here on Wayne Goldsboro Television. So until tomorrow, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Pat Garner.
And this is Wayne Goldsboro Television.